was going to be entertainer of the decade.
Adam Curry, John C. Dvorak.
It's Sunday, November 7th, 2019. This is your award-winning Cable Nation Media Assassination episode 1191.
This is No Agenda.
Vaping my life away. And broadcasting live from Opportunity Zone 33 here at the frontier of Austin, Texas, capital of the Drone Star State. In the morning, everybody. I'm Adam Curry.
And from northern Silicon Valley, where no shooting today, I'm John C. Dvorak.
It's Crackpot and Buzzkill in the morning.
Oh, is this your breaking news? Hey,
no shooting.
No shooting today. Yeah, that was a weird one. Up in your neck of the woods, seeing as we don't have all the normal information. We don't know the shooter's name. We have no manifesto.
No, they have the shooter's name.
Oh, they do have the shooter's name. Oh,
that's been reviewed. That was yesterday.
Oh, okay. I just thought the coverage was different. Or maybe
the
less.
coverage was weird, and I'll tell you why. I have some clips.
Oh, wait, before you start, I want to tease something. I have a review today of possibly the best OTG phone yet.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
It's turning into the phone review show. You going to do an unboxing?
I'm perplexed at your response. I'm perplexed at your response. We are helping people with their mental sanity.
And he was like, look, they've got a connector at the bottom.
Well, you're going to participate like a good doobie because this is very important. We have a phone that finally solves your problems.
Solves nothing.
Jeez. All right, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have interrupted your flow.
Yeah, because everyone's going to be on pins and needles. That's this fabulous tease.
The art of the tease, my friend. That's how it goes. All right, we reset. Good. Gee, tell me about the shooting.
Okay, so there was this shooting. So I wake up. It's about 9. And I wake up and there's all this reporting going on, live coverage of this chasing around town. There's choppers. They're going from house to house. A bunch of SWAT teams come out and they're surrounding somebody's house. They say it might be the kids, and then they go surround a neighbor's house.
Now you're seeing all this happen? This is out of your window?
No, this is on the TV.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
And it's all they said, because I'm not around there. I mean, this is the local coverage, but they have it streaming, so I'm watching all of it. And this is about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It goes on to about, 10:30, 11. But meanwhile, the incident took place at 7:30, slightly before school, and it took place outside, of the class, and where there's, gun detectors and things, I suppose, maybe not. But what happened was this kid brought a .45, and apparently was a 6-shooter.
No.
A revolver.
Gee, it's not automatic and not scary looking. We can't ban it. What are we going to do?
Yeah, it's not scary. And somebody mentioned that he took very careful count. So he shoots off 5 rounds into 5 nearby kids and then shoots himself in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this all happens right at the beginning.
Right.
So we have 5 kids shot and a guy who shot himself in the head. Hours later, they're looking for this guy by running around town, and meanwhile the reports are all written up and they're on Twitter. Here's what we know: the gunman shot himself,
right?
And 5 people are in the hospital, and he's in the hospital where he later died. And then now there's been coverage after that was where's this manifesto? We can't find a manifesto.
Yeah, I know. I was so disappointed. I want a manifesto.
It's like now everyone has to have a manifesto. I guess I didn't write one.
Wait, this kid wasn't white? I think, wasn't that the big problem? They were looking for a white guy?
You saw a picture of that, pictures of him. He was kind of
not white enough.
I mean, he could pass for white, maybe. It looks like he was a little Japanese. It was hard to say. But most of the kids there said it's a mixed race school, so it's not a big deal. So that's bullcrap, and there's no evidence of any of that. I think it's just drugs, but nobody wants to talk about that.
Well, no, that's the first question: was the kid on any type of antidepressants or other psychotropic drugs? Question number 1.
It goes to Zephyr, by the way.
Yeah. You're right. How many cars?
All right, now this is, don't forget, now we've got all the information. The kid shot himself.
Right.
He's there.
Yeah.
And they hold him into the hospital. So why are they running around town? So there's something else going on. So let's start with the shooting first reports.
And we're actually seeing something unfolding right now. We have fire department personnel with bulletproof vests and helmets on. And that's something I've never actually seen here in Santa Clarita before. But they have their bulletproof vests that say, LA County Fire Department on the back of them. And
so you're saying fire department, you're talking about rescue personnel are also wearing bulletproof vests and helmets.
Yes. It's very unusual. I thought that was actually a police officer, but it's not. That person has the trademark yellow radio the fire department personnel typically carries, but they're also, their vest is marked LA County Fire Department. But right now I'm looking from the ground. I'm in front of the Forum. It's a newer building on the campus. It's a performing arts center, so I'm just to the southeast of that building. And so we're seeing several parents who were able to make their way in here on the grass field, just embracing each other. Moms embracing each other, fathers embracing the moms. They have their small children here as well. But you can imagine, just the amount of heartbreak these parents are going through, and just they don't have really much information to go on. And we're getting more units here from other stations as well that are still rushing in. So it's been sirens and sirens and sirens all morning. When I first heard the call go out of my house, I thought maybe, this sounds like it could be a training exercise, but it sounded different. And so you heard outside my window, because I live off of one of the main roads here in Santa Clarita, you heard unit after unit after unit after unit, different types of sirens, CHP, sheriffs. You heard some from some off-duty police officers, and because a lot of police officers live here in Santa Clarita. And so you have a lot of those people who are, in plain clothes, have their vests and tactical gear here helping with the uniformed officers and deputies here at the school. And so you have a lot of response here in front of the school along the front main driveway here on Centurion Way. And so more ambulances coming in right now from the American Medical Response. I can't tell you how many ambulances have come in. Since I've been here, I've counted at least 10 to 11 that have rolled through here, and then about 4 or 5 that have left.
Okay.
Now, seeing as this was a long clip and I listened intently, means that you have something to say with it. Is it possible that there was a drill and a live event at the same time? Could this be our lucky day?
Well, I was thinking about what the hell's going on, because this all took place within 5 or 6 minutes. He emptied the 5 rounds and put one in his head.
16 seconds with
the
news everywhere. 16 seconds. It was all over. It's not even 5 minutes. Just dumb.
Yeah. And it was all caught on video. They had apparently cameras on this, whatever area it was. Oh. But it's an open area. It's an open area. And so this was all done within a minute or two.
Yeah.
At 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
This other stuff is going on afterwards, and it's like 11 ambulances. It's funny, though, they did say 11 ambulances came in and 5 went out, which is 5 for the 5 people that were injured or shot, which was, was kind of interesting. And meanwhile, this was the sheriff that's giving this report, and they got the fire department all gussied up in bulletproof vests, and people were running around, and every agency. This was unbelievable. Over response to an incident that was just like goes on in Oakland daily. The whole thing was baffling, the way they were going on as though they didn't know anything. Anyway, so I just found the whole thing to be the most, and it may have been a combination event. And so they said, well, hell, we're here, so let's just spend a few hours going through this, rounding up the kids, making them put their hands in the air, shuffling, bring in the SWAT teams. They do
the drills, and then they have to complete the drill. I mean, whether it's a live event or not, I'm sure there's something to that.
Here's a shooting. There's a kid on the street talking about it.
What?
Okay, first of all, can you say and spell your name for us?
Yeah, Adam Eichenseher. The last name is spelled Eichensehr.
And you're a student here at Saugus High School?
Yeah, I'm a sophomore. I'm in ASB. And
okay, tell me your experience this morning.
Okay, so I was just leaving for school, and and I was walking through these woods here, and I got a text from a couple friends to not go to school because they heard shots and like coughs. At first I didn't believe it because I just thought it was like maybe a generator blew up or something, because you would never think this would happen. And then I saw like cops, and so I stopped and I called my mom, and she told me to come straight home, and so I did. And all my friends that I have come in contact with are okay as of now. So
you've been in phone and texting contact with your fellow students?
Yeah.
What are they telling you from inside there?
They've been telling us about when they get evacuated by police, and they've been talking about how many kids have gotten shot, or people, and just making sure everyone else is safe.
Did any of them say that they saw or heard anything?
A lot of people said they heard. One of my friends said he saw someone reaching into his backpack, but he's not 100% sure. So,
did they say that they heard the gunfire?
Yeah, many people said they heard the gunfire, like loud booms.
All right. So, what do we do with this kid?
I don't know. So, but the kid says something interesting.
Yeah.
He says he heard, they said it would sound like gunshots, and he says maybe it's just a generator that blew up.
Did he say generator or transformer? I think he said transformer.
No, he said generator.
Huh.
What generator blows up and sounds like a gun?
I don't know.
Where do these kids get these ideas?
I'm still waiting for you to tell me that no one died. I'm on the edge of my seat here.
No, I can't. I think 2 people died. Let's do this one. This is another 49-second lament, which is, again, this is where they're brainwashing the kids into believing.
And we're now getting word that there are 2 patients in critical condition at Henry Mayo Hospital, and there are 3 en route. Yes. And we are getting word. I saw a tweet from the sheriff's department, and we had been speaking with Sheriff Villanueva a moment ago, who agreed that he thought there were 3. But again, with this fog of war, so to speak, it is a very active situation. Now there are approximately 5 victims. So it sounds like there were 3 that are en route to the hospital, 2 that are already there in critical. So there's the possibility that Sheriff Villanueva was referring to the 3 that are currently being transported. So the information is going to be very fluid. We're learning this with you as it's happening. And it is just crushing to think that these children are having to go through this day in, day out.
All right. What is your takeaway? What are you thinking about this?
Well, the sheriff was wrong about the numbers right away. The sheriff is no good. But this day in and day out comment.
Yeah.
Was like, kids have to go on through this day in and day out. This is just like a brainwashing. Let's go to the know-nothing sheriff real quick.
They have to do something, though. They have, because, they couldn't make any point about the gun. It wasn't a good gun for the...
It was a revolver.
For banning guns.
They didn't even talk about the gun in any detail, but when they said it had 6 bullets, well, how many guns have 6 bullets besides a 6-shooter?
Well, I don't know what you said. It was a 44,
45,
45. That was on the news. It was a 45.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be a revolver then.
What can you tell us about what's going on right now in Santa Clarita?
Well, the 3 victims have been transported, and they're receiving treatment right now. The school is obviously on lockdown. We've done some evacuations. We've extended lockdown to the local elementary schools that are in the area. We have our full deployment of our personnel on scene. We're working hand in hand. Our Special Enforcement Bureau, the SWAT team, we're doing searches. We're following up on all the leads, and we're trying to determine the exact whereabouts of the suspect.
He's dead.
Sheriff, do you know if those victims are in fact gunshot victims?
We do know of at least one that is a gunshot victim, yes.
But you don't know about the other 2?
Don't know the details yet. It's a little bit too early to have the details. But we'll have that available hopefully within the next hour.
Sheriff, do you... Do you suspect there could be other victims, or do you feel confident that that's the number of people directly impacted with the initial shooting there at Saugus? And I'm not trying to project what the other two injuries are. I'm just saying, do you feel confident that at the scene, those three are all we're going to find at this point?
Yes, I'm fairly confident that we've the worst of it is what we know so far, and then if there are other victims or injuries, they might be just people fleeing and stuff like that.
Okay. Wow.
Oh yeah. Well. Okay. Well. Yeah. Well, it's
right,
they don't know how to report, huh?
This is the worst. I mean, this is very poorly covered. The news media did
no kidding.
a piss poor job. I mean, since like you said, the whole thing was over in 18 seconds with the shooter there or the gun in his hand. I mean, it's just beyond me. But anyway, this is the comments on the drills. Again, this is I think there's a girl some girl that was bitching about the whole situation.
Now, has the school been doing drills, shooter drills throughout the year?
Yeah, they do multiple drills, and I always said, I hate that this is the new normal, but I see why now.
Do kids know what to do in an assault like this?
Yes, they know.
What are they supposed to do?
Hide, shelter in place, or run if you can.
Okay, what do you understand as to what you're supposed to do?
I know if you're in a classroom, you should just stay if there's a teacher. And if you're already outside and really close to an exit, you should try and run. But if you're not close to an exit, you should duck into the nearest class.
So this is what this school is teaching you?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are the training classes you guys have had?
Yeah, like lockdown drills and stuff.
Lockdown drills?
Yeah.
So what are you guys going to do now?
Well, I have to go to work. It's just, I don't know. We don't know. We're just going to take it minute by minute, I guess.
No, bro, that's the mom. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I thought was interesting also was that if you're in the hall, you just duck into a room.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a lockdown drill, they lock all the doors. You'll be pounding on the door trying to get in.
It sounded like the kid
had the shooter.
I don't think the kid paid attention in drill class. It's like, I don't know. You try to get out, or you go in. All right.
You get it. Well, what you do if you're having these drill classes constantly?
Yeah,
they're all fake.
Yeah, you get very jaded.
Yeah, you don't pay attention. No. This is the problem. I think that's what they're trying to do there. And anyway, the whole thing was a joke.
Well, there was a lot of
I'm sorry about the kids that get shot.
No,
but
of course.
We don't have the manifesto. We don't know anything, and they can't figure out why the guy did it.
It doesn't always have to be a manifesto.
It has to be a manifesto now. The rules.
I think if there's no manifesto, we have to double check on the medication. I think that's the number one thing. There was a kid in this is before we get back to the important news. There was a kid in Holland, and his parents kept taking him to the emergency room, emergency ward, to the psych ward, because he was freaking out. He was acting really weird, and twice they were turned away, and they said, "No, this is just the normal first side effects of his ADHD medication." And he wound up killing 2 girls. So, it's like, who the hell knows? You got to be careful with this stuff.